that I kind of read on comments and bits and pieces around the place is that people are kind of fed up of tweaking and prefer to be playing. And you know, this is one of the things which is beneficial potentially about a real amp, is that you have less scope for tweaking, and therefore in theory when you plug into it, hopefully more of your time is focused on playing rather than trying to get the tone you were looking for. Now literally about 2 years ago, so in December of 2019, I found my lead tone, and so I wanted to kind of share that with you because this has not really changed in the 2 years. You've seen me do lots of experimentation with other tones, but whenever I sit down to play guitar or record or whatever, this is my go-to lead tone. And you know, I found it trying to do the Eric Johnson lead tone thing, but I don't know if you've had this experience, but you know, I've had it with some other devices as well. When you find that sound that you're happy with, I think it's quite a nice thing. And so although a lot of my time is spent experimenting and trying to find new sounds and explore different things in whatever device I'm using, whether it's the Helix or, you know, different pedals and bits and pieces or fractal stuff, if I'm sitting down and I'm trying to feel inspired and just play guitar, the Eric lead preset is where I come to. So hopefully if you dig any of that part of that lead sound or that tone or whatever that you found me playing in the intro there, that's what you're hearing me play quite a lot of the time on the channel, and you'll probably be aware of that if you watch any of my videos. I even prefer this to, you know, like real amp lead tones that I can get. There's things that I can do with the HX Stomp which I can't do in the real world, and so that's what I wanted to talk about. That this preset is based on the Litigator, which is sort of a theoretical amp that Line 6 Ben Adrian put together. Sort of Dumble-ish, starts off from a Fender point of view and is like a modded Fender. The other aspects of this, we've got a compressor boosting the front of the amp. I did used to use the Top Secret OD as well, and sometimes do when I want more gain, into the Line 6 Litigator, into an Own Hammer free IR that they used to give out in a God's Cab, I think it was called, or something like that, the Mesa Boogie 4x12, into a dual delay, and into a Glitz reverb. So really straightforward, nothing crazy going on. Let's dive in. This is literally, as I say, what I think of as my lead tone now. You know, if someone says, what is your sound? That would be it. Aside from the jazz preset, which is kind of my other sound. So there's this, which is my lead tone, and then if you see me playing that Gibson Hollow Body, that's my kind of jazz tone. We'll dive in. So as I say, this is literally kind of my go-to sound. Let's jump in and see. So if I'm using the Top Secret OD, I would also have this gate on because I'm a single coil player, so that would be important to keep from getting too noisy. So our first block is the red squeeze, sensitivity at 3.8, mix at 83%, the level at +12, so we're boosting the front of the amp quite substantially. That's an MXR Dynacomp style compressor. If I'm using the Top Secret OD, which is a Dodd OD250, I'd be using the gain at 8.8 and level at 8.3. Again, if you're using humbuckers or anything, you might want to tweak these a little bit. Certainly, maybe you want to take that level down, and also you might want to take the gain and level down on these. Now, this is kind of, I guess, the key to this tone, particularly when you're not using drives in front. The drive at 9.1, so as I say, it's like a Fender Dumble style amp, so fairly, you know, mid-gain even with the drive all the way up. The bass at 5.6, the mids dimed, treble off, presence off. Now with a real Dumble clone style amp, I kind of like the presence run really low as well. They can be quite spiky sort of, you know, not necessarily as smooth as you'd think a Dumble amp might be. Then channel volume at 7.5, master at 5, sag and hum at 5, ripple at 3.8, bias at 5 and bias X at 5, so untouched. This Own Hammer IR key thing there, I've got the high cut down at 3.9 kilohertz, taken off some of the high-end sizzle of the tone, so you've got this kind of warm sound, smooth, even, you know, thick sounding lead tone with single coils. That's what I'm going for. Then the dual delay settings are as follows: 375 on the left, 500 on the right, 71 on the left feedback, 62 on the right. And then the mix, this could vary for you, but this I have for this particular tone 26%. Sometimes I might take that down to about 20, 22, depending on, you know, whether I want to feel like I'm literally in the 80s or not. low cut and high cut off, mod off, and spread at 10. So that's that. And then the glitz reverb, this is the last block of all, the decay at 5.1, pre-delay at 1 millisecond. There you see the low cut off, high cut at 15.5, the mix fairly high at 22, delay at 64, rate 1.84, depth 3.8, crossover at 900, mod mix at 5. So nothing crazy going on there, and you know, I feel fairly happy that I was able to stumble across these settings a while ago, and since then I've not really looked back. This has become my lead tone, and that's something I think I'm pretty happy about. And you know, you could also modify this to become your kind of rhythm tone as well. You know, you take the mids down for more of a rhythm tone. Obviously you take the delay and reverb off as well, but maybe experiment with that if you're struggling to find your sound. Maybe using my sound, which was based on Eric's sound, might help you in some way. This is the preset that I go to when I just want to play guitar and not really think about the gear, so hopefully that will help you out too. Let me know in the comments if this works for you. Let me know if you enjoy that tone. Don't bother if you don't. No, I'm kidding. As I say, I'm quite happy that I was able to stumble across those settings about 2 years ago, and hopefully you can get something out of that. Let me know again if you're enjoying it. The preset for that is in my folder with all my other tones that I make for the HX Stomp, which I charge like $2.99 for, or £5 for all of them. $2.99 is for just the things without expression, $5 is for all of them including the expression bundle. But yeah, if you wanted to subscribe as well, there's loads of Helix stuff on the channel, but you probably already knew that, and there's like lessons and stuff, so that would be helpful, but you don't have to. See you in a bit.